I am at a really good taco place. I go here very often. It is like the closest to my grandma's tacos. So I always come here. I'm like faithful to this place. Well, it's hard to find good tacos. You know, my Mexican people out there, like, it's hard to find good tacos. Like, if I'm really desperate and there's no tacos anywhere, like, and I'm starving, plus I'm vegetarian, so there's not a lot of choices. I'll go to like Whataburger or something, but it's not really a good taco. I mean, it's sufficient. This place is good. Sometimes they undercook the potatoes a little too much, and I'm like, I missed it. But it kind of gives me a little comfort, because then I'm like, oh, so y'all are really making these potatoes. Okay. I often come here first before I go to work, and I open up my email, see what's going on, see if I have any referrals for individual dance therapy. Sometimes I'll look at the handoff communication report and see how my clients have been doing over the weekend. Since I'm one of the first people there, there's no one to like tell me, hey, so this is what's going on, unless I go and talk to a nurse. So sometimes the nurses aren't that reliable because they're busy. And it's not that they don't have information, they do, it's just they don't have enough time to sit down and tell me everything that's going on. So if I ask them, hey, give me the update, they're gonna be like, nothing's new today, or they'll say something like, oh, so-and-so just did this today, watch out for so-and-so, so they're not that reliable in the moment. Now, if I go to like morning report, if I go to cross shift when they're switching shifts, then they're reliable. They're gonna check our temperature. I always do this, like right before I go into work. Like my mask. My mother-in-law made it so pretty. Morning.
Any symptoms on the board? Do you have any of those?
No.
How about fever the past 24 hours?
No.
Good to go.
Bye. Oh yeah, it's raining, so they're not going to check my temperature right now. He's really, really speedy today. He's like, check the board. That board's new. Then again, I've been out for 3 days, so a lot happens when you're out for 3 days, I've learned. Even for 1 day, it's like, oh, your patient that you've been working with for like a year got discharged. It's like, what? So I can only imagine what changes happened since I've been gone. Since I've been gone. So I'm here in my office. When it's a little more organized, I'll show you what it looks like. I had to leave abruptly when my son was sick. The daycare provider contacted me and was like, you need to come pick him up now. So I literally dropped what I was doing and left. So I need to reorganize. Yes, that is an ab ball, yoga ball, whatever type of ball people call it. Do I use it? Yes, I do. Every day? No, I don't. Just depends on what my body needs. I also have a foam roller. Now you're probably wondering, oh wow, this chick, she has time to like stretch, and she has time to do this and that in her office. It's not that I have time, it's that I need time to do that stuff. Because the way I have helped myself understand just how important my role is when you look at a music therapist, they have all these instruments, okay? They're taking time cleaning the instruments, tuning the instruments, making sure they're well kept, doing whatever they need to do to make sure the instruments are ready for the client. This is my instrument. This thing is my instrument. I have to be intentional and make time to tune my instrument so that I can be ready for the next client. And honestly, sometimes I don't even have time for that. Sometimes I'm like going, and then I'm home, and then I'm going because I'm a mom, and then I go to sleep and repeat. So that's why I have to be intentional. Like, if I let myself, my instrument will get burnt out and I won't be able to support my clients. Yay, look at all of the email I have to go through. Yay, yes. When was that sent? Yes, please sign me up. There is this required training that I have to do. Moving the meeting from tomorrow to next Friday. Oh, yay, I didn't miss this meeting. Oh, I have another meeting to go to. So there's this thing. It's called tips. I forgot what the actual words are. I'll have to go back and do the training so I remember. Okay. Basically, it trains you to de-escalate a situation with a client where they're either showing signs of aggression, suicide ideation, and desire to harm themselves or harm others. So we talk a lot about verbally de-escalating them, like talking to them and trying to help them to reality check, trying to help them listen, calm down, kind of thing. And then there's the other layer where they actually get physically aggressive. Yes, that happens. Have I physically restrained somebody? Yes, I have. Have I blocked other people from trying to physically hit me? Yes, many times. Have I removed individuals? Yes, I have. And that's what that training is for. It's to help ensure that you know how to do it so that you're not harming the client or harming yourself, and also so you don't lose your job. So making sure you're up to date every year on that type of training is very important. The other thing I'm writing down is I have a suicide risk reduction work group meeting. And that's like a committee where different people from different departments, you have people from psychology, from ed rehab. I'm ed rehab. You have people from psychiatry, social work, nursing, PNA, which is psychiatric nurse assistant. You have all of these people representing different departments, and we all get together and we basically talk about how we can prevent suicide or prevent our clients from attempting suicide and how to support our clients more. So I have a meeting for that. So now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take a moment, think of anything else I need to do. There are some notes, some documentation notes that I have to do. I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to write it on my calendar to remind myself to do it every Monday because it's due Friday. So if I get it done on Monday, I don't have to worry about it. Oh my gosh. I just remembered that I have to do something. I have 2 other really important documentation things I have to take care of right away, like now. So now I'm on my lunch break. Spaghetti, yay. Not excited about it. The Mexican in me is like, why? Because it's free. That's why. It's free and it's easy. Heart. Love. This is the schedule. I'm not going to let you look at it for that long because it's a headache. And it's everybody's schedule. Not just my schedule. Everyone's. This is my schedule. Each unit has their own like label for where they are. Day hab means that I go to a specific area where all of the clients can come off the unit to participate in programming. And when it says on C and D, on E and F, on A and B, that means that I'm going to the unit and I'm providing dance therapy for them on the unit. So clients get a choice. They get to go off the unit or they get to stay on the unit to receive dance therapy from me. And this is like a worksheet I have for myself to help me like keep track of what I'm doing. Today on A and B we did a body scan, and we've been doing some ballet stuff because we have some experienced movers / dancers that want to learn and remember technical skills like pas de bourrée. So we've been integrating that in the session. So I'm a busy lady. So anytime that there's like an empty spot, I'm either doing individual therapy, documentation, or planning a session is usually what I'm up to. So I'm technically on break right now. Sometimes I work through lunch depending on what projects I have coming up or if my coworkers need help with other projects. Sometimes I do stretch and sometimes I do Pilates or yoga. If I have time, I'll do like a short thing for myself. Sometimes when I'm really busy, I literally come into this office and lay down. And I have a mat for that too. This is my workspace. I used to have an office mate, but she moved. And I'm okay with that. She's a nice girl. I like her. But I also like my own space. Most of that's not my stuff. This bag is mine. Those water bottles are mine. And that's it. Oh, that lamp is mine. Frame thing. I found it at Cracker Barrel. So this is the beautiful window of what I can see outside of the hospital. Haha, just kidding. It's kind of like one of those ways to get people to think of things outside of the hospital kind of thing, which is very useful because I have a lot of sessions in here where clients will look out and be like, oh, that's so beautiful. I want to be over there. And I'm like, you know what? I do too. Little fraction of actual dance therapy that I did. I was with my geriatric population again. They are some of my favorite people. They're just so golden, man. Like gems of society that are easily hidden or brushed aside or scooted under a table or something. And then you are cleaning out your place and then you find it and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much this was really worth, you know? They were really missing me last week since I was sick. Well, my son was sick and then I got sick because he was sick. They were really missing me and they were like, oh my gosh, you're here. Oh, thank God you're here. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad to be here too. And I could see that their bodies were like, we're ready. Let's go. Let's move. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Because the first instinct I have is, okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's move. Let's move. But out of that instinct, I said to myself, these are older people and we need to be safe. So safety is a big, big key for them. And I want to remind them to be safe. And I want them to be present with their body. They have all of this positive anxiety about wanting to move and wanting to do and wanting to go. I'm like, that's good. But if we've been not moving for a while, it's important to take a step back, check in with your body, stretch, move, etc. before we really get into it. So I did like a movement scan, and basically that's like I verbally cue them. Move your head. Notice how your head wants to move today. Go down to your shoulders and notice how your shoulders are moving in response to your head. And go down to your hips and notice how your hips are reacting to your shoulders moving. And so it's just kind of a sequential experience all the way down through the entire body. And oh, it's so beautiful to see them take ownership of their bodies and start to explore all by themselves without me cueing them. So yeah, I did a functional skills assessment. It's like, how is that client, what's their productive status? You know, lots of questions are asked, like what are their interests? What are their hobbies? What motivates them? What's not motivating them? How symptomatic are they? You know, so questions like that come up, and also like a little bit of history, like employee history, so we get some more background of how their interests are connected to them or disconnected to them. And it's just a lot of information for helping us construct treatment for them. So like a client could have like a huge connection to what they used to do, or have a big disconnection, and that's probably related to trauma or not. And so the functional skills assessment gives us kind of a beginning point of where to go from here. I will have my first meeting of the week. It's a clinical meeting where we talk about various clients, and we talk about how they're doing, their progress or their regression. Talk about any changes that are coming up or changes that we need to suggest. Yeah, basically. I'm almost done with my day. I'm on my way to another unit. So just to give you some context about where I work, there's like different service areas. So like there's a service area for kids, adolescents, latency. There's a service area for adults. There's a service area for geriatrics and IDD, and that's the main area where I serve. That area also has a population that is considered more long-term and vulnerable. They're a very vulnerable population because they're just they have a lot of medical issues, or their symptoms are just so acute they can be easily taken advantage of by other people, so they're taken care of better where I work and serve. So anyways, their home unit is being renovated right now. So they had to move all of the clients to another service area way across campus, and I have to drive all the way over there. Anytime I have to do a session, I have to get in my car and drive over there. Now, they do have like a transportation system that I could call. Yeah, I could do that, but it doesn't really work for my advantage because I'm going home right after this. So I could either walk all the way across campus, or I could just take my car. So yes, that does mean gas and mileage and all of that stuff, but it is what it is at this point. So I'm on my way to this unit. It's called E&F, and I'm gonna work with one individual client. She has schizophrenia, and she can get very aggressive and not even be aware of it. She seems to like me. She's Hispanic. I think the fact that I'm Hispanic kind of helps her feel more comfortable, especially since I have a lot of Latino rhythm in my body. So I do a lot of like Latin dancing with her. So that is what I'm going to do with her right now. Yay! Oh, we're gonna do bachata. Okay, my day's over. Is it? The session went good. She really liked it. She was like, thank you. No problem. No problem. Okay, where to now? Home. On my way home. I'm gonna take a minute and reflect on my day. Was it a good day? Yeah, it was a good day. The hardest part about my job isn't really the clients, it's more so just the environment, you know. It's a very stressful job in general, it is. And, you know, clients are very demanding, especially in the service area that I work. They require a lot more attention, a lot more redirection, and things like that. And, you know, we're understaffed. And I think it's like that everywhere, like not just at the hospital I serve, but also like throughout the country, throughout the state, like probably throughout the world, I don't know. With COVID, you know, lots of people are trying to work from home and are trying to be extra safe and not work not at home if possible. And we just had a recent shortage of nursing staff. Like, a lot of our nurses just up and left because they can get paid better somewhere else, honestly. And that's really sad and disappointing. Honestly, we probably all could be paid much better working somewhere else. I mean, that does put a damper on the job in general. So as far as like what kind of work you want to do as a dance therapist, depends on you. Some people envision themselves working at a psychiatric facility like I do. Some people want to do more like individual work and have a private practice. You can do that too. Depends on your goals, depends on the clients you want to serve. I will say that if you work for the state, there are really good benefits and a reliable job that won't just cut you. Like, it's very rare if that were to happen if you work for the state. So, and then the salary, of course, you know, it's nice to have that stability in pay. That consistency is helpful. But yeah, I mean, pay would make it so much more worth it, definitely. I'm about to get on the road, so this is where I end. And see you later.